I always felt like I was different from everyone around me, but not in a good way. While my friends were acing their exams, getting into great schools, and always being praised, I was just there. I can't count how many times I would look down at a test I thought I'd studied hard for, only to see a grade that was nowhere near what I hoped for. No matter how hard I tried, my grades stayed average or worse, and that sinking feeling of being less than would settle in my chest. It wasn't just the bad grades, it was the constant comparisons. I'd scroll through social media and see all my classmates posting their academic achievements, celebrating their acceptances into prestigious colleges, while I felt like I was just trying to keep my head above water. Every A+ I saw felt like a reminder of what I wasn't. What's wrong with me? Why can't I be like them? I thought if I studied harder, if I worked more, maybe I could finally get there. But no matter how many sleepless nights I spent hunched over my textbooks, the results were always the same. And the more I tried, the more exhausted I became. My mind turned into my worst enemy, constantly reminding me that maybe I wasn't smart enough, maybe I was just a failure. I didn't talk to anyone about how much it hurt. I didn't think they'd understand. Their success seemed to come so easily, like they were born for it, while I was fighting for every little win. Eventually, that fight started to wear me down. I woke up each day dreading school, dreading the inevitable comparison, the feeling of falling short. I started to believe that my future was just as bleak as my report cards. For years, I let those thoughts rule me. I didn't see a way out. I thought my grades defined who I was and what my future would be like. If I couldn't succeed here, how could I succeed anywhere? Then, one day, something shifted. It wasn't some grand epiphany or a life-changing moment. It was just another afternoon, scrolling mindlessly through social media, trying to escape reality. That's when I came across a post about content creation, specifically using AI tools. It was like a spark of curiosity lit up inside me, something I hadn't felt in a long time. I had always liked tech, messing around with apps and software, and this idea of creating content using AI grabbed my attention. For the first time in years, I didn't feel the pressure to be smart in the way everyone else was. I felt excited, not because I thought I would succeed instantly, but because I wanted to give it a try. So, I dove in. I started learning everything I could about AI tools: how to edit videos, how to create interesting content, how to engage people online. It felt different from anything I had done before. At first, though, no one cared. I would spend hours creating videos, posts, and edits, only to get nothing. 0 likes, 0 views. I felt invisible. All that excitement started to fade, replaced by the familiar feeling of failure. It was like school all over again, working hard and getting nothing in return. I remember sitting in my room, staring at my phone, wondering if I was just fooling myself. Maybe I'm not cut out for this either, I thought. But something inside me told me to keep going. I wasn't sure why, but I liked creating things, even if no one else noticed. I decided, for once, I wasn't going to give up so easily. So, I kept posting. I kept learning. I kept creating. Months went by, and honestly, it felt like nothing was happening. There were plenty of moments where I wanted to throw in the towel. But then, one day, it happened. One of my videos started getting more views, like a lot more. It wasn't anything spectacular, but it resonated with people in a way I never expected. Comments started flooding in. People were sharing my content. It went from feeling invisible to suddenly being noticed by thousands. I couldn't believe it. After all those months of working in silence, it was finally paying off. And from there, things started to grow. More people followed me, More brands reached out, and before I knew it, my little content page had turned into something real. I was working with brands I'd only ever dreamed of, becoming the face of one of the biggest suit brands in the world. Looking back, I realize now that the path I was on, the one I thought was full of failure, wasn't a dead end at all. It just wasn't the path I thought I was supposed to take. My success wasn't tied to how well I did in school. I just had to find my own way. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that everyone has different talents. Success doesn't look the same for everyone, and that's okay. My talent wasn't in memorizing facts or acing exams, but in creating something that spoke to people. And that's something no grade could ever measure. If I could go back and tell my younger self anything, it would be this: stop comparing yourself to everyone else. Your success won't look like theirs, but that doesn't mean it won't happen. Keep pushing forward, even when it feels like no one sees you. You're not a failure. You're just different, and that's okay.